Hey there everyone, and welcome to another Rune showcase. In here we're going to show you some fire ones which actually came out a little while ago. I'm a little bit late with this and it's because I was doing the other stuff. So these ones came out in the previous festival. You can't get them anymore and they'll probably come back round again. The wizard one is Fiery Aura for Protection Bubble. This one's fairly interesting. I'm going to look at the stats later just because I want to get to the second stage of this where I can actually show it properly. And yeah, so previous best rune for Protection Bubble was, what's it called? Guardian Light, which it attacks nearby enemies with like this, it's kind of like a wave, it's sort of a shockwave thing that goes out once per second, and it will hit enemies for a fairly decent chunk of damage. It turns it into a damage score really nicely, and also heals you for a pathetic amount. That's just not important really. And so Fiery Aura, what it will do is instead of hitting nearby enemies, it will hit any enemies that attack you, and it will place a damage over time effect that hits them 4 times with 11,000 plus 7%, which is a small amount. Hits them 4 times with that for every time they attack you. So what this means is in PvE, you'll see it here, if we look at the archer enemies, so they're all attacking me, and now if I put it on, then they're going to put attacks on me, and as you can see, they all get hit by this damage over time effect, which, bear in mind, it's fire damage. I've got like 200% fire on at the moment, and they're taking double fire damage. So it is a bit more powerful than it would normally look. That's why it actually kills them off. But anyway, in PvE, the damage on this is actually fairly low, just because enemies don't attack you that quickly. They only attack you sort of once per second, once every other second. So they're not going to get many attacks on you. They're not going to take that much damage. In PvP, it should be really awesome. Why I say it should be, I've heard from people, it is definitely awesome. That's where it actually stands out and is better than Guardian Light. Otherwise, I think I'd probably prefer Guardian Light for PvP. But yeah, this really relies on having a high fire stat if you want to, if you really want to do well with it. And yeah, in PvP, it won't do much against other wizards. Against knights, it may do. Depends how the knight plays, whether they do a lot of basic attacks or a lot of skill use. But yeah, against archers is really where it's going to stand out. If an archer tries to attack you when you have this on, and especially if you have the skill leveled up high, like to 99 out of 99, this shield is going to be really tanky. They can't take this down easily, and for 6 seconds, if they attack you with their basic attacks, they're basically going to kill themselves. So yeah, this is a very much an anti-archer skill rune. I look forward to getting it and seeing how it pans out. There's probably going to be a lot of archers angry about this one, especially when everyone starts getting it. But anyway, what I would recommend to archers in terms of a counter to it is if you see a wizard with this on, attack them with skills. You want to put a stun skill on them and then put volley on them. And I'm not sure if skill uses will actually activate it. It probably will. But basically you want to take down the bubble in as few shots as possible. And a good way of doing that is with stun skill and then volley. So anyway, that's the wizard one. And now we're going to go on to the archer one. This archer one was for Ballista. And this is actually a really, really weird one. So Ballista got like a huge buff in the skill levels 10 to 99. Massively increases the damage. And because pet damage has been increased, it means it's really good now. Well, I say really good. Probably for the most powerful people it's not so good, but otherwise it's very good skill. And so what this does is it turns the single target attack that the Ballista does into an area effect attack. However, it removes the base damage. So this awesome buff to the skill in those high levels is actually counteracted by the skill rune, which is kind of odd. And yeah, basically each attack does pathetic damage. I don't really know what they were planning to do with this skill rune, but as you can see, it does about 20,000 per hit. It actually seems to be doing double hits there, but even so, it does pathetic damage. Absolutely rubbish. You gotta remember this is doubled as well, and I've got 200% fire if that boosts it. I don't know if it does. To be honest, I'm not too bothered. But yeah, so it does that, and I'm going to show it quickly in farming. Because basically that's where I think it has its use. The only use it has is in farming, and that's because it will clear out the enemies more easily. So I'm going to quickly go to Adamar's Sanctum, because that's got nice groups of enemies in it. And yeah, so it will just clear out groups slightly faster. But to be honest, Bliss is not the best farming skill anyway, in my opinion. And it clears them out fast enough without the need of... Oh, ooh, that was bad lag. Without the need of, yeah, becoming area of effect. So I'm just going to group enemies. I'm getting a huge amount of lag. I don't know what's going on here. But hopefully it sorts out for when I do the night Skurun. So I'm just going to run around here and get a ton of enemies on me. This is where I like to test stuff. I've shown it in a few other videos as well. This area is just very nice for testing skills. So yes, I put the blister down, and then we'll see a ton of lag, and it clears out all the enemies pretty quickly. So yeah, the area of effect on each blast is fairly small. If you hadn't seen already, it's quite a tiny blast, but it will hit multiple enemies. So that's the archer one, and yeah, it's a shame it's no good really. But to be honest, archers have so many good fire skill runes that they didn't really need another one, so not too much of a loss there. Now this night one is the saddest one in my mind. Sad because basically the wizard one is really good for PvP against archers. It's quite a specific use, but still it's very good at what it does. The archer one is pointless, but they have a load of fire skill runes, so it's not really a problem there. Now the knights, they have some fire ones. They have Empowered Twin Smite, which is very nice. They have Ember Glow, which is it's a nice sort of drawing in. Not so much the fire damage, but yeah, Volcano Eruption as well, good one. They've got Burning Aura, also good, and then Empowered Fire Maim, and they've got stuff there. They've got fire skills there, but they're not like as solid as, for example, archers are. This one, Ablaze Soul for Angelic Form. First up, it doesn't add any fire damage, but yeah, what it does is just pathetic, absolutely pathetic. All it does is mean that when you take hits, you recover 1.2% of your health. Now, the one saving grace of it, I guess, is that this is the second skill rune for Angelic Form, and the previous one didn't have any stats on it. So if you want some stats of damage, armor, and defend rating, then you can get them here. But yeah, Angelic Form gives 200% water stat boost for the duration, whereas this just means you heal a bit when you get hit. But that makes no difference in PvE, because you've already got like the ridiculous 90% damage reduction and also a huge boost to your lifesteal. But yeah, PvP, it won't really make any difference either, because they're just going to kind of stop hitting you if you put it on. Yeah, so it doesn't really have any point to it. I guess in PvP it's kind of good because it's less obvious. It just puts a little fiery effect on you, which you'll see when I go into combat here. I'll use it at the beginning actually. So yeah, it puts a tiny fire effect on you, and if people aren't looking out for it, then maybe like they'll notice. So they won't notice so much, and you might be able to get away with attacking someone when they don't have Angelic Form on. So maybe that's the whole idea of it. It's the tricking other people. They don't realise that you've actually got a super buff on. Right. So what I'm going to do is, why did I just activate Inquisitor? What I'm going to do is I'm going to get hit down, so I'm nearly dead, and I'll try and time this Ablaze Soul so that we can see the healing effects going on. So we got the archers attacking. Now I'm going to put it on, and as you can see, that is the healing effect when I'm being like constantly attacked. It's pointless, and if I attack this, you'll see here my health. Look how fast that goes up from the lifesteal. It just doesn't compare at all. I have no idea why they made it this low. When I first saw this skill, and I saw that it was like when you get hit, you like take you heal up. I thought, cool, this is a buff for in PvP, basically to make this much more worthwhile, because there are cases where there's a really powerful archer and the knight will use Angelic Form, but actually, because it's only 75% damage reduction, the archer's strong enough that they'll just attack through the Angelic Form and still kill the knight. Not to the point of like they'll take the knight from full health down to death, before the knight can get anywhere, but it's like the knight will be approaching the archer sort of attacks them a bit, they see the health going down, and that they're not going to make it, so they use Angelic Form, run towards the archer, and that, doesn't actually get them to the archer because they've got too much damage going on them. So when this originally became available for viewing, it was like 5% health you gain per hit, and so I thought, okay, cool, this is what it's going to do, is that then if an archer keeps attacking you, they're actually going to heal you up faster than they're going to be damaging you, so actually you are going to be properly tanking for those for the duration of the Angelic Form. However, unfortunately, then it just kind of got reduced to 1.2%, which is pointless. So, yeah, it doesn't really help in any case, and is a pointless skill rune other than the stats on it. Or tricking people in PvP, as I just thought of, maybe tricking them and making them not realise that you've got Angelic Form on. But yeah, Lord of Winter is just superior by a long shot, because of that boost it will do to your water stat. Getting it from like 56 here to, if I can click fast enough, 256. Yes. So anyway, that's it for these the skill rune video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you didn't get too annoyed that basically Wizards got a good one when the other two got nothing. But yeah, that's the way it is sometimes, and I'm sure that skill runes in the future will be more interesting for the other classes, and I hope that you didn't invest lots to get this skill rune and started leveling it only to watch this video and find that it's not going to be worth it. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.